Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome in to Colourwerx. This is Linda, and of course, Carl Sullivan is behind the controls today. We are Colourwerx Designs. Today is, of course, Friday. What day is it? August 28th. Can you believe it? Welcome in. It is. That's right. It is episode 14 of the Fab Friday broadcast coming to you from the Colourwerx Design House here in beautiful, beautiful Palm Desert, California. It's 115 degrees. We're under a heat advisory. So what else is new? We've been under a heat advisory for the last, what is it, Carl? 2 weeks, I think we've been under a heat advisory. Like I have quilts behind me here in case you're wondering what they are. This is kind of creating kind of a fun look, maybe if I could get my head right in the right place, although that's kind of strange, isn't it, you guys? I mean, a little strange. But this quilt that's right behind me here is Feeling Groovy, and this quilt over here is called Sunny. And this is, we just thought it would be fun because we're under a heat advisory to put the Sunny quilt behind me. We of course did this version for our friends over at Island Boutiques when we had a signature collection with them called Garden Party. And so if you like that pattern, where is it? It's here. It's in the shop. And of course, Feeling Groovy we'll talk about in a moment. So please comment. Let us know if everything is streaming your way good. Let me know if my mouth is keeping up with my words there and that you're receiving us clear and loud and clean, so to speak. Let's see who is checking in from where, Carl.
All right.
Pat Stack, hello. It says, looking forward to what is new in the Colourwerx world today. There is some new stuff in the Colourwerx world today. And of course, it's always coloricious in our world. And who else? Nedra. Hello, Nedra from Arizona. Our good friend Nedra. And Julie from San Diego. Good morning, Linda and Carl. Looking forward to seeing Carl again today.
There we go.
He is coming up very soon. So make sure that you like and share this video with all your friends, all your family, your pets. Our Colourwerx world is growing and we really appreciate your support. So we want everybody to kind of join in on the Colourwerx world. And so make sure you like and share this video. And of course, you can subscribe to our Colourwerx YouTube channel where you'll get alerts or pings or dings every time we put up a new tutorial. And if you're watching us on a replay, always know that we put these videos back up for replay up on the Facebook page, over at the Colourwerx Quilt Along page, and also on our Colourwerx YouTube channel. Is there something happening in the cactus cam?
No. That's too hot.
Nothing ever happens in the cactus cam these days, except for the beautiful fountain and the beautiful views of the San Ysidro Mountains steaming up under our 115-degree weather here. Who else is checking in? Let's see. Connie, is that Connie from North Carolina? Hello, Connie. Nice to see you. Anybody else, Carl, before we move forward? Yes. Oh, Kimberly. Hello, Kimberly.
It's stormy.
Ooh, stormy pencil. Yes. You must be are you getting the after effects of, is it Hurricane Laura? Has she moved that far up the East Coast yet? Or is it just
Nancy said it was pouring in Bloomington.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Be safe out there, you guys. That, even when they go tropical storms.
The video is great, though, even though it's pouring.
Nancy says video is great. But I was going to say, be safe out there, even if it's a tropical storm. We all know that they can still pack a powerful punch long after hurricane is gone. So let's see what we're doing. Let's go ahead and award our $10 Colourwerx gift card. We do this every week, of course. Last week's question was, Carl will bring up that card, what color is this Cape Fawcett fabric? And if you missed last week's tutorial, please go check it out. It's episode number 13. It's again on the Colourwerx YouTube channel or on our Colourwerx Facebook page right here. Carl did a great tutorial on Carl's color tips, tricks, and tools. So that was a great tutorial from last week. And of course, we all left you with the question of what color is this fabric? Any color that you saw was correct. And we had lots of different responses. And of course, every comment that comes into the Facebook page when we do these broadcasts, we go into a big barrel of the random virtual barrel, random thingamajizer. And then we have the random thingamajizer pick out a random winner every week for the $10 gift card. So this week's winner for what color is this fabric is Congratulations, Lynn. So we will get in touch with you. Is that Lynn right there checking in? Congratulations, Lynn, checking in from, it looks like New Mexico. Hello, Lynn. You just won the $10 Colourwerx gift card from last week. So please email us at colourwerx@yahoo.com. I just need your email address, and then I will send it your way. So congratulations to Lynn. Stay tuned. We'll have this week's question so everybody can enter their chance to win a $10 Colourwerx gift card. And again, we super appreciate your support. Carl says there are more check-ins. Let's see.
Karen from North Carolina.
Where is that, Karen?
Right there.
Ah, hey, Karen from North Carolina. How are you today? Who else, Carl, before we get on with your tutorial? And Nancy, those colors behind you are fabulous. Thank you, Nancy. They are. This. I always get mixed up. This is all Island Batiks, Garden Party Batiks. And it was made several years ago, probably almost 12 years ago. So I can't attest to what fabrics they are. They're mostly modeled solids and coordinates. But thank you for your comment. We appreciate that. Of course, we're always coloricious here. And of course, we always wear black because we don't want to compete with our coloricious world behind us. Okay, so if we are ready to go, one more comment. Lynn says, thank you so much. You are so welcome, Lynn. You are this week's winner. So we appreciate everybody checking in. We're going to go a little out of order today. We're going to do Carl's tutorial first. And he has another fun tutorial for you this week about making a test block without wasting or using fabric. And his technique is kind of interesting, and it uses a product that I think we've all forgotten about that we used to use in elementary school. So what are you going to do, Carl?
I'm going to go over the cutting board now.
You're going to go over to the cutting board. We're going to play some intro music, and then he'll meet you over at the cutting board.
On my way. Hi everybody, it's Carl at the cutting board again this week, and this week I'm going to demo how to make a test block without cutting up your fabric. My preferred method, construction paper. Why? It's cheap. 99 cents for this entire pack. We used to use it as kids to make things, so why don't we use it to make test blocks for quilting? It behaves like fabric. It's not as strong, but it still behaves like fabric. The other best thing about it is this entire book for 99 cents had all these colors in there, so I can test my color combinations of fabrics. Plus, this allows me to make as many mistakes as I want without feeling guilty that I'm wasting fabrics. So let's get to it. Let's go to the cutting board. Let me first show you this week's block I'm going to do. It's a brand new one called 4 Points. We haven't tested it yet, but we are this week. Let's go to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my construction paper and match the colors to my diagram here so we can get started. So I'm looking for an orange and got one right there. As you can see, the green comes right off the top there. That's matching. Yellow, red, purple, and finally the white. Now at this point, because you have all these other colors in the pack here, if you wanted to change any of the colors out, even in your test block, good way to do it right now. Just change your colors. You don't have to go with what the drawing said. Go and test your own colors. The only thing that's missing now before I can get going is my cutting instructions, and I've got them right here. Because this is a new pattern, there is nothing written yet. This is my test pattern sheet. I've got some dimensions here that I've calculated. I did it on a piece of graph paper based on the size of this block. It's a 16 inch by 16 block. I did the math on that. You'll probably make test patterns from patterns already written, what the designers have already done like we do. We give you the list of dimensions, we give you shapes, we give you all that good stuff because this is a new block that we haven't tested yet. I'm working off my original sheet, which eventually will turn into one of those patterns. So without further ado, let's get cutting. So now I'm getting ready to cut my first fabric on my first piece of construction paper. I'm going to take this section of the block right here, which is highlighted over here. I'm going to look for the orange fabric and find the dimensions there and cut myself some strips. So let's get to it. Now the great thing about the construction paper is because it's cheap, it's great because if I make a mistake cutting this fabric or actually construction paper, I can recut it. So if I was to do a wobbly cut here, or wasn't quite right, I could just get another piece and cut it, not feel guilty about it. So there's my first 2.5 inch strip. I need it by 6.5. So let me go there. Let's just cut that by 6.5. And again, if I make a mess, I can redo it. So there's my 6.5 by 2.5. Now I'm going to cut another piece, 4.5 by 2.5. So once I cut, I want to make sure that I don't get my pieces mixed up. So this is 6.5 by 2.5. This one is 4.5 by 2.5. That way I know exactly where my pieces are going to go in this layout right here. They're over here. Now we'll move on to the next colors right here. And we'll see in a moment when we finish cutting. So here we are back at the board, and we've got all the pieces now cut. We're going to make this part of the block right here. So I cut everything that was set so over here, and we're going to do this first block. If this works, we know all the other four corners will work. I also did a diagonal line on these ones here because these are going to be dog-eared. You see those two corners here. So we're going to go now off to the sewing machine and sew these all together. See you in a moment. So we're back at the cutting board now, and I finished all my sub-units right here, ready to put them together, and it's looking pretty good like the original I wanted to. But at this point, I can make any changes I want. I can make notes on there saying, like here, look, put in there, 1/4 inch seam, be careful, make a scant 1/4 inch. I can change the way the block looks at this point if I want. You too can do that, even if you purchase the pattern, and if you're making a test block, you can go ahead and twist that block around even before you assemble it. That's what we're going to do here right now. First of all, I'm going to remove this one. I'm going to mimic these two blocks right here because I've already got part of it right here. So if I put that piece in there, and this is the great thing about construction paper, you can cut anything you want, do anything you want. I've got this hole in the middle. It's going to be 4.5 inch square hole because I know, because I've measured it. I've just gone ahead and made that block right in there. Didn't sew that one, used a glue stick. Still, it doesn't matter. It looks good. That's why we use construction paper. Let's take that one out. Let's add another one. See how easy it is to do, just to switch things around so you don't always have to have the same look on the same block. You can actually make a sampler block here and have different blocks from the one block. So look at that. That's looking pretty cool because I got this white dot back in the middle picking up these other ones. Also, if I rotate this now, so I'm not just left to switching blocks out, I can rotate the existing block. That's going to give me another dimension, just like that. Look, that's the third block I've just created. So now I'm going to go and find one more thing I wanted to test, was in the middle here. If I wanted a memory quilt, that's an ideal place. Nice big frame. How about that? How about a piece of photo fabric right in the middle there? Beautiful. So there's only one thing left for me to do now is to sew this block together, and I'm going to do that in a few moments, but I'm going to go back to my original design because that's where I had over here, because I like that. And this is what I'm going to finally piece together because that's where I started. So let's just go back to this way, flipping again, all the way. All my units are there. So all that's left for me to do is now to sew it. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'm going to see you on the other side in a few moments.
Pretty nifty, I'd say. That's like an interesting technique. So Carl's coming around to back and he's getting, where's he been? Oh, he's been sewing. Oh, look, here's the block. So Carl has been sewing, everybody, and this is the actual block. It's a great technique to use construction paper because you can practice your 1/4 inch seam. You can make sure that you can make notes for yourself on it about dimensions if you want. Or like he was saying, you can say, oh, okay, don't forget, I need to take a more of a scant 1/4 inch seam here when you make a test block. It's just a wonderful way of not using your fabric. And it's great if you've got a particular block that you want to test, and maybe you've bought all the fabric for the quilt already and you're worried about running out of fabric, or you're worried about the fact that you may not have enough fabric to do a test block and the quilt. you know, construction paper comes handy. And I actually use quite a lot of construction paper when we actually go into designing some of our slash and sew blocks. For instance, like this little color bug block. This, I have to work myself kind of back towards a finished block size. So when I did this quilt and I designed it, we knew that we wanted the finished block size to be about 9 inches by 9 inches. And so I actually used a huge stack of construction paper because I was trying to work myself into that measurement. And so I had to start with certain pieces and then cut and slash and then start again and make notes, etc. So great tutorial from Carl. Give us your comments or questions as we move forward. But there's the finished block. He also, like, you can work out how you want to press your seams. You can put this under the iron like you saw in the tutorial too. So it's just a nice little idea there.
We have questions coming in.
Oh, questions coming in. Let's see. Nedra says, do you include a seam allowance when cutting the construction paper? Yes. Yes, you do. Include your 1/4 inch seam allowance if you're designing your own block. However, if you're just following a pattern and you're testing the block from a pattern, then most of the designers have given you the 1/4 inch seam allowance. So anybody else? Oh, Julie, I never would have thought to do this. Fabulous. Well, congratulations, Carl.
Well, we used to do it as kids.
Fabulous. We used to do it as, yes, kids play with construction paper and things like that. So, and Karen says, great idea. Thank you, Karen. Okay.
Kimberly loves it.
Kimberly says, fantastic, Carl. Love it. Yes, Carl will be coming soon with more tutorials. He has some great ideas that are a little bit different from all of us quilters because he's not really a quilter. He's
Nedra
a
thinks I should frame that.
Frame it?
Frame it. You
yes, you could frame it.
And I could put a clock face in the middle and have a quilting clock in my... Wow.
He's full of ideas this morning, especially off camera. He's not going to show himself here except for his tutorial.
Pat thinks it might keep the cat off the quilt too.
Well, yes, it would not. I don't think this construction paper would collect much hair, cat hair. So if that is a concern, I guess that would work, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So, the other good thing is if you really don't want to be in the mood to make a quilt.
That's right.
You could just get construction paper and test any block you want.
Just
play around with it.
That's true. I mean, if you really don't want to make a whole quilt, or you don't have the fabric to make that particular block, or you just want to see how it goes together, you can certainly use construction paper. So there you go. Nancy says this is a great tip. Thank you, Nancy, or thank you to Carl, I should say, for the great tip. So
and we've got
very
some
good.
more
And Nancy Crandall says, that's an interesting idea. I'm trying to make a wonky log cabin, but am afraid to use my beloved fabric.
Construction
paper at the 99-cent store. He bought both those things for, I think, about $2. And of course,
no, I got both for 99 cents.
Both for 99 cents.
I got both for 99 in California.
Such a deal.
What? Plus tax.
But he got lots of colors in the pack too, so you can actually work out your color combinations as well. Nancy says, I will be doing this. Great. That is what we love to hear.
And Melanie says, a great idea.
Melanie says, great idea. I like it. Well, we do too. And we like all your comments and we appreciate them so much.
I've got one more for you.
Oh,
your necklace again is in frame.
Great necklace. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lynn. This is something called Tagua. I don't think I'm pronouncing that quite right, but we buy it down at the Palm Springs Village Fest when it was going on. It's not going on right now because of COVID, but this is where all the vendors get together, and it's the Tagua nut. I think it's spelled T-A-G-U-A. You can find them online. It's a very lightweight nut that gets shaved, and then what they do is they dye it, and then they stick it out in the sun, and it dries up. So both the earrings and the necklace, thank you so much, are Tagua inspired or Tagua jewelry that's out there. So thank you, Lynn, for noticing that. Let's move on to some other news here too, because I don't want to let the day get away from us here. The Feelin' Groovy Quilt Along right here is coming up September 9th. So make sure that you actually go over to the Colourwerx Quilt Along page. If you'd like to join us there, you can go there, join in on the group. That way you can post progress photos. We do giveaways. You can ask questions if you'd like. But the schedule, Carl, I believe, has brought up there. It's a 5-week quilt along starting September 9th. You can get the pattern in the Colourwerx shop, which is now 20% off for the next couple weeks. And you can see there it's 3 techniques in one quilt. So we're going to learn, we're going to learn slash and sew for the background of the swirls. We're going to learn machine applique, which are the swirls, and we're going to learn a little bit of paper piecing, which is the border. So you're going to get 3 techniques in one quilt. That starts September 9th. And so everybody can join in. If you don't want to join in on the Facebook group page, you certainly do not have to. You will get alerted when we have new posts and new companion videos for each week of the Quilt Along by either subscribing to our newsletter or just keeping attuned to what's going on our blog, at the Colourwerx blog. So the other thing I want to say also is, if you are part of a guild and if you are a guild program chair, or your guild is looking for virtual teachers for the fall schedules, please come over to the Global Quilt Connection. That's globalquiltconnection.com. Carl just brought it up there. There are 2 dates coming up, September 2nd and 9th. Carl and I are going to be presenting on September 2nd. So please pass the globalquiltconnection.com website onto your guilds if you are looking for virtual programming. What this is basically a free event. If you want to see it live, you do have to register, but you can always come back after the dates and click on. So for instance, August 5th, which already happened, you can simply click on that link and watch the Zoom event that happened on that date. There will be 30 teachers on each date presenting live their virtual workshop offerings and classes and lectures. So again, if you want to see it live, come register. If not, just make a note to your guild, globalquiltconnection.com, and all that will work out. With that said, what is Carl saying to me? He's doing some kind of
We've got activity.
It's, oh my gosh, there's activity at the Cactus Camp finally. Wow. And is that 4 I see out there?
Yes, but they can't find their balls apparently.
Oh, they can't find their balls.
They've hit them too far.
They hit them too far. Oh my.
They're behind the cactus right here.
And they're behind the cactus. They're searching in people's.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my. Let's come back.
Drama and trauma out on the golf course at the 15th hole here. Okay. Well, I want to also let you know before we go, we won't be here next Friday because guess what? It's Labor Day. And so like many of you guys, we're going to be taking the Labor Day weekend off. Gasp. No, we are. We're going to be taking the weekend off. So we will not be here next Friday for you, but we will be returning on Friday, September 11th. So with that, I want to leave you with the question to enter for this week's Colourwerx gift card. And the question of the week is, do you do a test block? Say yes, no, maybe, no, I've never thought about doing a test block. That any answer will work. I'd love to hear what everybody's answers are, and I'm sure Carl would too. Please share this video with all your friends too. We love it when you share our tutorials with all your quilty friends, your quilty buddies, your family, anybody else that you think might be interested in this particular tutorial. And with that, before we say goodbye, let's see if there's anything else going on the comments. Kimberly says, can't wait to get busy working on Feeling Groovy. Some of my fabrics should be here. Sorry, it came off the screen before I could figure out what that was. Thank you, Kimberly. I can't wait either. I'm going to have some different layouts for you guys too, in case you don't want to make the entire quilt. So anybody else, Carl, before we go?
Trudy said she was late, but she's going to go back and watch it.
That's okay, Trudy. That's why these are great. I'm sorry that you were late, but that's okay, because these will always be available to everybody up on our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, and so you can see all the action that happened, even though you might have not been here when it happened. So. And Nancy says, I had fun today. Enjoy your vacation. Well, thank you, Nancy. We're not really going anywhere, of course. We're just taking the weekend off to relax a little bit here in Palm Desert. It's probably going to be hot as Hades, and we probably will not actually even venture out anywhere. But at least we'll be relaxed, and we're just going to have a great Labor Day, which I hope all of you will do.
Have a lemonade.
A lemonade.
Or a cocktail.
Well, yes, it could be a lemonade and a cocktail, says Carl, I guess. Maybe in a tiki glass. Who knows? Anybody else? I see something from Julie coming in there. What's Julie saying? I wish.
Hang on.
I wish I used this for one published block, made 4 wrong, and before I got it right. That's absolutely right. The paper version of doing quilt blocks, here it is, the tutorial from Carl today, using construction paper to make your test block. It's a no guilt method, I'm telling you, because even if you waste the entire 99-cent pack getting your block right, at least you've only wasted $1 and not, $12 worth of fabric, so to speak. So there we go. Terry says, have a great weekend. I'm late too, but we'll rewatch. Thank you, everybody, so much. So nice hearing your voice, Carl. It is
Thank you,
nice.
Terry.
Isn't it
Nice to
nice
hear
hearing his
you.
voice? I think it's nice not to hear my voice go on and on and on. And it's nice to have him here actually getting a little less shy now as we are on episode 14. That was a huge hand coming in. We're on episode 14. He's getting less shy about being on camera and less shy about talking up, which is a good thing. So with that, we're going to leave you guys. Happy Labor Day, early day. Have a great weekend. Remember, we won't be back until September 11th. But make sure that you look at the Feeling Groovy quilt along, and also don't forget about the Global Quilt Connection, and also share this video with all your friends. Check out all of our other tutorials up at our Colourwerx YouTube page. Until then, be safe, be sane, happy quilting everybody, and have a fabulous Colouricious weekend, and have a fabulously Colouricious Labor Day weekend as well. Talk to you all later, and thank you so much for tuning in. We love you guys. Bye-bye.